Joining me live now is Hunter Valley cattle producer and chair of the cattle committee at the New South Wales Farmers Association, Tony Hegarty. Tony, appreciate your time today. Thanks for coming on the program. So, look, this all sounds fairly theoretical still, but what do you think about a potential move to relax biosecurity rules on beef to get some sort of a trade deal going with the US?
Look, it's a bit unfortunate that these issues are being bandied around without really concentrating on what's important. And to us in the beef industry, it is biosecurity. The US can trade beef into Australia now. They just have to meet requirements of traceability, etc. And that's the problem with Mexico and Canada beef and livestock moving into and out of the US. And they just don't have the traceability system to guarantee that.
Do you know,
that's the unfortunate bit.
Yeah. Do you know what exactly the risks are, whether they're current or past, from beef coming from Mexico and Canada? Do you know exactly what the issue is?
Well, I think it's a general covering of biosecurity as a whole is got to be maintained. We're very fortunate to be able to keep all this out of our country. To my understanding, the biggest issue would be a type of screwworm in southern Mexico that the US Department of Agriculture is quite concerned about for their own cases. So, allowing that to come through their system into ours is just inappropriate. But the reality is the US has got a very low stock herd at the moment, numbers-wise, and they are needing a lot of beef to come into their country, or red meat in particular, to come into their country just to keep up for their own demand. They are at historically low stock number levels.
Yeah, so does it even make sense for them to send beef here? Even if we do relax the rules, it sounds like they might not even do it because it doesn't stack up.
It doesn't stack up. Their prices over there are significantly higher than ours on equivalent terms, apart from freight, just the cost of it. So they're demanding a lot of beef from us. And according to the Herald this morning, in an article there, it was $3.3 billion of beef into the US last financial year. So, that's a lot of beef going that way. Why would they be wanting to bring it back this way? We do import from Japan and New Zealand. I think Japan is high-end Wagyu. New Zealand, I'm not sure what comes in out of there. And I believe Vanuatu also imports into Australia too. So it's not as if we're not allowing imports. It's does it make sense? And do they meet the requirements of traceability and biosecurity?
Yeah, and is it worth it? Messing with that. Are Australian beef producers, Tony, exporting a lot more to China since the trade war started with the US?
My understanding from MLA figures, yes, there hasn't been an increase there. But you'd have to really get to MLA and get the proper data to get the true answer for that. But remember, we had a hiccup with China exporting into there not long ago, and then we've had to rebuild that market as it's become available. So we do have markets that move around, and we have to make adjustments as we go. And our production processors and exporters, they're very good at it. They do a lot of this on a regular basis.
It's been great talking with you, Tony. Just before I let you go, were you affected by the recent Hunter Valley mid-North Coast floods?
No, look, I'm about 2.5 hours inland from Newcastle, so we're a fair way in. But certainly my understanding is the manning, in particular, the Hunter was quite bad, but the manning in particular was devastating. And what I've heard from some of my producer members there is that the dairy industry down on the flats is, it's some dramatic problems down there.
Yeah, it's been awful.
And even the beef producers in the hills have been saying that it's been so wet for so long, apart from the flood at the end, is that they've been unable to, get production off their pastures. It's just very, very difficult situation.
Yeah, and I wonder what this severe drought that we got going on across inland areas of Victoria, South Australia and New South Wales is going to have on beef prices too.
Well, not so much beef prices. I think in the short term, more feed. Victoria and South Australia are normally big producers of hay and other fodder in that spring-summer period, and that's just not there. And so I think that's possibly going to be a little bit difficult for the people on the coast who need that type of supplementation.
Tony, it's great to talk with you. Hopefully I'll chat with you again in the future. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Ken.